What I'm about to share isn't comfortable. It's not going to make you feel good about yourself, but it might be the most important 20 minutes of your financial life. Jews make up 0.2% of the world's population, yet they've won 22% of all Nobel Prizes. They represent over 35% of American billionaires. They dominate banking, entertainment, medicine, law. This isn't luck. This isn't conspiracy. This is 5,000 years of accumulated wisdom about money, passed down from generation to generation. And here's the brutal truth. While they've been following these principles, you've probably been breaking every single one of them. Today I'm going to share the 9 reasons, according to ancient Jewish wisdom, why you're still poor, and more importantly, what to do about it. My great-grandfather Moshe arrived in this country in 1921 with nothing. Literally nothing. He didn't speak the language, he had no connections. But he had something more valuable. He had the wisdom his father taught him in the old country. Within 10 years, he owned 3 businesses. Within 20 years, he owned real estate. When he died at 91, he left an inheritance that still supports family members today. Same story, different generation, same principles. Before we dive in, do 2 things. First, subscribe and hit the bell. Reason number 7 is the one that destroys most people, and I'll reveal it in about 12 minutes. Second, comment below with the number 1 through 9. Just pick one. At the end of this video, you'll know which reason has been holding you back. I'll personally reply to the first 200 comments. In this video, you'll discover the 9 specific behaviors that Jewish wisdom says block wealth, the ancient Hebrew concepts behind each one, and the practical shifts you can make starting today. Some of these will shock you. Some will make you uncomfortable. Good. Discomfort precedes growth. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to attract money effortlessly, while you struggle for every dollar? Have you ever worked harder than everyone around you, but still ended up with less? Have you ever felt like there's an invisible barrier between you and financial success? In Jewish mysticism, this barrier has a name: klipot, spiritual shells that block the flow of blessing. But here's what most people don't understand. Klipot aren't random. They're created by specific behaviors, specific thought patterns, specific words. And if you're honest with yourself, you're probably engaging in at least 5 of the 9 I'm about to share. The Torah teaches a concept called parnasa, divine sustenance. The Talmud says that a person's income for the year is decreed on Rosh Hashanah. But here's the key. The decree sets the potential. Your actions determine whether you receive it or block it. Think of it like a pipe. The water is there, the pressure is there, but if the pipe is clogged, nothing flows. These 9 reasons are the clogs. The first reason is lashon ra al atzmo, evil speech about yourself. I'm broke. I can't afford that. Money is so hard. I'll never be rich. Every time you say these words, you're not just describing reality. You're creating it. The Hebrew word for word is davar, the same root as devar, thing. In Jewish thought, words create things. Words are not passive descriptions. They are active forces. The Talmud teaches that a person's speech creates angels, for good or for bad. When you speak poverty, you create angels of poverty that surround you. The fix. For 40 days, catch yourself every time you speak negatively about money. Replace "I can't afford it" with "I choose not to spend on that right now." Replace "I'm broke" with "I'm between abundance." Sound silly? My great-grandfather Moshe never once said, "I can't afford." He said, "That's not where I'm putting my resources today." He died wealthy. The second reason is despising small amounts. It's just $1. That's not worth my time. I'll pick up money when it's real money. The Talmud tells a story. Rabbi Yochanan would pick up every coin he found, no matter how small. His students asked why a great sage would bother with pennies. He answered, "If I despise small gifts from heaven, why would heaven send me large ones?" This is the principle of hakarat hatov, recognizing the good. When you dismiss small money, you're telling the universe that your blessings aren't enough. The fix. For the next 30 days, pick up every coin you see. Thank God for it. Put it in a separate jar. Watch how your relationship with money transforms. The third reason is perhaps the most counterintuitive. You don't give enough. Tzedakah, charity, isn't optional in Jewish law. It's obligatory. The standard is 10% of income. This is called ma'aser. But here's what most people miss. Tzedakah isn't about being nice. It's about opening channels. The Hebrew word for money is kesef, from a root meaning longing. Money longs to circulate. When you hoard it, you stop the flow. When you give, you create movement. The Talmud makes an extraordinary promise. Give tithe so that you may become wealthy. It's the only area where we're told to test God. The fix. Start giving 10% of your income. If that's impossible right now, start with 1% and increase. Give consistently, not sporadically. I've seen this transform finances more than any other practice. Fourth reason, ayin ra, the evil eye of envy. When you see someone wealthy and feel resentment, bitterness, or jealousy, you're doing two things. First, you're declaring to your subconscious that wealth is something to resent, not attain. Second, you're creating spiritual blockage. Envy is one of the heaviest forms of klipot. The Ethics of the Fathers asks, who is rich? One who is happy with his lot. This isn't passive acceptance, it's strategic wisdom. When you celebrate others' wealth, you align yourself with the frequency of wealth. The fix. Every time you see someone successful, say, out loud if possible, "May their blessing increase, and may I be blessed similarly." Mean it. Fifth reason. You trust your job instead of God. Now, I'm not saying quit your job. Jewish wisdom strongly supports working. The Talmud says a father is obligated to teach his son a trade. But there's a difference between working and worshiping work. Hishtadlut means effort. Bitachon means trust in God. The balance is this. You make the effort, but you don't believe the effort is the source. God is the source. Your job is just the current pipeline. When you're terrified of losing your job, when your entire identity is your career, when you can't imagine money coming any other way, you've made your job into an idol. and idols block blessing. The fix. Remind yourself daily, my job is a channel, not the source. The source is infinite. If this channel closes, another will open. This mindset, paradoxically, makes you better at your job, because you operate from faith, not fear. Sixth reason. You don't keep the Sabbath, or any sacred rest. The fourth commandment isn't a suggestion, and it's not just about religion, it's about rhythm. The word Shabbat comes from shavat, to cease. 1 day per week, you cease creating. You stop producing. You stop hustling. Why? Because constant production without rest creates spiritual debt. It tells the universe, I don't trust that provision will come unless I'm working. Some of the most successful Jewish businessmen in history were strict Sabbath observers. They built empires working 6 days. The 7th day, they stopped completely. The stopping is what allows the next week's abundance to flow. The fix. Choose 1 day per week. Completely stop working. No emails, no hustle, no productive activities. Rest. Trust. This is the one that destroys most people. You're focused on getting money instead of creating value. The Jewish approach to wealth isn't, how do I get rich? It's, how do I solve problems? How do I serve? How do I create? The Talmud says, Im ein kemach, ein Torah. If there is no flour, there is no Torah. Meaning, money matters. But notice the framing. It's flour, sustenance that enables higher purpose. When money becomes the goal instead of the byproduct, everything inverts. You start cutting corners. You sacrifice long-term for short-term. You repel the very thing you're chasing. The fix. Ask yourself, what problem can I solve? What value can I create? Who can I serve? Money follows value like shadow follows substance. My great-grandfather Moshe never asked, how do I make money? He asked, what do people need that I can provide? The money followed. Eighth reason. Your word is unreliable. In Jewish law, a verbal commitment is binding. When you say, I'll pay you Tuesday, and don't, it's not just bad business, it's a spiritual violation. The Hebrew word for truth is emet. It's spelled with the first, middle, and last letters of the alphabet. Truth spans everything. It's the foundation. When your word doesn't match your actions, you create cracks in that foundation. You train the universe that commitments from you mean nothing. And the universe responds accordingly. The fix. For 40 days, become obsessive about keeping your word. If you say you'll call, call. If you say you'll pay, pay. If you can't keep a commitment, communicate before the deadline, not after. Rebuild trust, with others and with the universe. The ninth reason. Kafui tova, denying the good. You focus on what's missing instead of what's present. The first word a Jew says upon waking is modeh, I give thanks. Before getting out of bed, before coffee, before complaints. Gratitude first. This isn't positive thinking nonsense. It's energetic technology. When you're grateful for what you have, you signal to the universe, more of this, please. When you focus on lack, you signal, "More lack, please." The fix. Every morning, before your feet hit the floor, name 3 things you're grateful for financially. Even if it's, "I have $20 in my account and that buys food today." Every night, before sleep, name 3 more. This practice alone has changed lives. Here's how to apply everything. Week 1 through 2. Focus on speech. Eliminate poverty language completely. Week 2 through 3. Add giving. Start with whatever percentage you can. Week 3 through 4. Add gratitude practice, morning and night. Week 4 through 6. Implement sacred rest. 1 full day, 40 days. That's the Jewish number of transformation. Noah's flood, Moses on Sinai. 40 days changes things. Here's what I want you to understand. Being poor isn't a moral failure. But staying poor when you have access to wisdom, that's a choice. Jewish wisdom has been tested for 5,000 years. Pogroms, expulsions, Holocaust. Every generation, Jews lost everything and rebuilt. Not because of conspiracy, because of principles. The same principles I just shared with you. Your ego will resist this. You'll think, "This is too simple," or "This religious stuff doesn't apply to me," or "My situation is different." That's the klipot fighting back. The blockages don't want to be removed. Push through. Do the practices anyway. When your finances start shifting, and they will, come back here. Leave a comment. Tell me which of the 9 was your biggest block. Share what changed. Your testimony will help others believe it's possible. I want to bless you with the ancient priestly blessing. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift his countenance toward you and grant you peace. And may the channels of Parnassa open for you. May the klipot that have blocked your blessing be removed. May you see abundance flow into your life in ways you never expected. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Amen. Like this video if it spoke to you. Subscribe for more wisdom that can actually change your life. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And comment below, which of the 9 reasons hit you hardest? Next week, the 7 Hebrew words that attract money. Specific phrases from Kabbalah that wealthy Jews have whispered for generations. You won't want to miss it. 5,000 years of wisdom. 9 brutal truths. 40 days to transform. You now know what most people never learn. The question is, will you apply it? I believe you will. That's why you watched this far. Shalom uvracha, peace and blessing. Now go build your legacy. Remove these words.